I haven't brought the correct equipment, surprise, surprise. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Outside Edition. Yes, I thought since we were getting some really nice weather, currently in a heat wave by the way,
I'm starting to sweat.
I thought we would go on a little mini hike and try and find some sort of like little beauty spot or something and do like a little bit of painting outside. I thought that would be quite nice. If you can see, I've got all my bags packed. Got camera equipment, water, paint, paper, everything that you could need. And this area that we're going to is about half an hour away from here, but if we look, pretty nice views, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's something I always forget about living in the northeast, or just living in the UK, how green everything is and how much nature and countryside is around. I don't make the most of it at all. So I thought today would be the perfect day. It's such fun. I can already tell I'm not doing enough exercise because I've only been walking for about 10 minutes and I'm already out of breath. So this doesn't bode very well, does it? Will I even get to this little spot and do some painting? Or will I collapse trying to get there? Who knows? So I think I'm about halfway to where I need to be, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm melting.
Cool me down, cool me down.
Proper melting. Didn't realise it was this hot.
When does it stop burning?
I think in the UK, in order for it to classify as like a proper heat wave, I think it has to be 3 consecutive days above like the, I don't know, the norm, the average or something like that, or the highest. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm not gonna lie, it's hot, really hot. I've got my SPF on though, so it's fine. I'm not gonna burn, alright? But like, look at this cute little farm track, like look at this. As if like it just exists, like this just exists, the trees, this gorgeous little pathway, and there's just barely anything around. And it's not far from where I live either. Look at that, it's just nature after nature after nature. I take it for granted actually a lot of the time. I massively take it for granted because I don't appreciate what's actually on my doorstep. I think some people would absolutely kill for something like this. So it's important to get out and, you know, touch some grass. I think that's very important. Why did I pack so much stuff? I tell you what would have been helpful, a suitcase. And by the way, this is like a little mini hike. It's not like a crazy, you know, hike up a mountain or anything like that. I don't think I could film a hike up a mountain. Well, I could, but I would be a mess. I would be an absolute mess. And look at that. It's just like, just grass and just nothing. Just literally nothing around. I feel like sometimes places like this, it's kind of like a setting for like a horror film, you know, where people get lost in like the middle of nowhere. Because look. Like, where am I? Where am I? Literally, where am I? And the fun thing is, obviously I've been walking down here and stuff, I haven't seen a single soul. The bit where I'm going, mind, it does tend to be popular with like runners and cyclists and stuff like that and dog walkers, so hopefully it's not too busy. It is a weekday and it's like mid-morning, so hopefully there's not too many people around. But where I am going, there's a bench, so at least I get to sit. Yay! So I'm now at a crossroads. Down there is the way I've come. Up that way is like a little tiny village, and then if you go along that way you can get to the sea, believe it or not. You can get to the coast, a really popular kind of beachside area, but it's about an hour that way and I don't fancy walking all the way to the coast. There'll be too many people there, can't be bothered with people. And then if we go this way, this is the area where I want to go, and hopefully it's clear and nice and not too busy. And this is where it starts to get really overgrown too, so hopefully I don't get attacked or stung or anything like that. Also I have to be cautious because bikes can sneak up on you, and this track is very thin and narrow. It's a lot more narrow than I thought. I think it's because it's a bit overgrown. I'm sure this used to be bigger. I haven't been in a while if you can't tell. And anyway, I have to be cautious because bikes can fly along here and I'll end up getting knocked over. They don't take any prisoners.
So you can see it doesn't.
But if I just carry on walking up here, there should be a nice opening and there's some really nice views. If I remember right, it could have all changed because like I said, it's been years. The thing is, I'm walking along here, I can't remember this been like so long. It's taken us ages. I don't know, for some reason I felt like this was a bit of a short walk. I've been on this mini hike for quite a while now, and I don't think I'm lost. I think I know where I am. I'm almost certain I know where I am. I've seen so much wildlife though, so many pigeons and butterflies and loads of insects and stuff. Yes, I think along here we're getting to an opening and there's some really nice views. And there we go, after walking a while, this is the view I'm talking about. I think that's a pretty decent view, isn't it? You can see some like big turbines in the background there. Lots of trees, lots of mountains. There's a shitload of trees. Sorry for my deep breathing, I'm out of breath. And just lots of farmland. Now there should be a bench here, unless someone's got rid of it. I really hope not, because I really want to sit down. Guys, the bench is gone. Oh wait, no, there's a tiny bit of a bench there. There used to be a bigger bench here, that's all that's left. I guess I'll set up on this little tiny bench. It's big enough for me, that's fine. And we'll do a little bit of painting. Well, I'm just getting set up and I've just realised I've forgot a really important part of my recording equipment, and it's something that holds the camera and the tripod. So this is going to be awkward to film, okay? But you'll just have to bear with us, I'll try my best. Okay, I feel like I've set up the best I can. There's this camera, I don't even know what this camera is going to do, or whether you're going to be able to see any of my painting, but never mind. I'm trying my best. We might just have to use our imagination. This is why it's so much easier to like record and just do stuff indoors, because it's a controlled environment. This isn't controlled, especially when you forget things. I need some water. I'm just going to be doing a little watercolour painting, by the way. I thought that'd be quite cute. And obviously it saves me bringing loads of acrylic paints and loads of other stuff with us. Right, what are you going to be able to see on this camera? Anything or nothing. You're going to be able to see absolutely nout. If not, you can kind of see on this camera, can't you? So we'll make it work, it's fine. Right, what do I want first? The view is actually very cute. There's just lots of green, so obviously I'm going to be using a lot of green. The fact that I'm like literally sat in like so much pollen and I suffer so badly with hay fever, but just punishing really, isn't it? I think I want to start off with like a nice cute wash. And I have seen civilization while I've been out here. I saw someone riding a bike. Someone else was having a cute little walk. I sometimes want to say hello to people, but in the UK we just like to be left alone and just to do our own stuff. So there's some chatty people, but for the most part, see, that's what I mean. People are just out there doing their own stuff. I'm not going to lie, this is incredibly relaxing. What I like about this view as well is the fact that the trees kind of frame the sky. I think that's really cute. I'm just kind of chucking down some colours for now, and then we'll see what happens. I think the flies are very intrigued by what I'm doing because they've not stopped pestering us since I've got here. I want to add some clouds, but I never know how to do clouds. I've actually been watching a lot of content about how to like paint and painting techniques and stuff. And I don't know whether you're going to be able to see on this camera. I feel like a lot of people do lots of dabbing and just kind of can't even see that. I think when I paint, I'm very heavy-handed and I don't let the tools do what they want to do. I think that's a lot of kind of the mistakes I make a lot of the time. Also, I'm just sat here as well and I'm just like listening. I don't know whether anyone else can like hear just nature. I know that's obvious because I'm literally sat in like a tree basically, or like a bush. Right. Don't know what that was. I think it was a really big fly. I don't think it was a bee or anything, but it was really in my ear. There are quite a lot of like bees and stuff around here. Weirdly enough, I haven't been stung. They're not really bothering us. They're just interested. They just keep coming up to us and having like a little sniff. If I see a wasp, mind, I'm running. Wasps are little bastards. Okay, so I've got some bits down. I want to start adding a little bit of detail, just a tiny bit. Along here, it's just lots and lots of grass. If you want a bit of a closer look at the moment, I don't know whether any of that's in show. I can't actually even see the camera because my glasses are polarised, so I can't see anything. That's going to be a mess when I come to edit this, and I realise none of the footage is worth it. The sound will be shit, the video will be shit, everything will be shit, but that's fine. I don't think we expect high quality content from me, do we? Also, I think as well, if you're going to kind of go out and do a painting outside or do any kind of other activity outside or do a hike or something, it's really important to respect like the nature and everything around you. Clear up after yourself, don't make a mess, don't kind of, I don't know, just try to make as little impact on the area area that you're actually in. Like, I find it sad a lot of the time when you'll see people move into a house or move into somewhere and they'll start like cutting all the trees down and stuff. And it's like, why? Especially considering a lot of them trees will have been there for like tens, possibly hundreds of years, and then you come along and just literally fell it. I think unless it's causing some sort of like structural issue or something like that, fair enough. But I don't know, I find it very difficult when someone gets rid of something like that just because of preference. That's why I absolutely hate the people who astroturf the lawn and have like fake grass and everything's concrete and stuff. I absolutely can't stand it, and I don't understand where this kind of phase of behaviour started to happen. I was actually going to take us to a different place, a place that I know of from like my childhood and stuff, because they've got some really nice views. They've got some amazing views actually, but it would mean I would have to drive there to actually go on the hike and then to get to the bit where I need to go. But feel free to let us know another time I might go there, because the views from there are amazing, or they used to be anyway. And I know that place like the back of my hand too. I spent years of my life up there. It's like this big foresty area. Right, this is what I've got at the moment. Don't know whether you can see that. I think that's looking cute, just in case this camera's not picking up anything, because I have a feeling this isn't doing much at all. And there's like a little pathway in front of us, so I want to kind of get that along here. You know what, I needed this to do. I know this was just like a fun idea for a video and stuff that I kind of wanted to do, but I actually genuinely think I really needed this. I've been quite stressed recently, and this, for some reason, just sat here. I know there was a bit of a stress like getting set up and everything and getting here, but now that I'm here, I don't know, I just feel so relaxed. Like, so ridiculously relaxed. I could easily, and I'm not even joking and I'm not even lying, I could easily sit here for hours and hours and hours. I don't have time, I've got other things to do, unfortunately, but I could literally just sit here for hours and hours and hours and just paint. It is so relaxing, and just like hearing the sounds of nothing, and I don't know, trying to add like a little bit of detail. I wish I brought a cushion, because this bench is like really hurting my ass, but other than that, loving it, loving life. Okay, so I've just got like a little base coat of like leaves, or just like a kind of abstract version. I suppose we'll try and go in and do some more leaves, because there's just so many leaves. I'm going to use a different brush and a different green to hopefully add a bit more texture. And with this as well, I'm really trying to get the paintbrush to work for us and do different things. So I'm trying to just use the tip of it just to add a bit of a different shape, bit of a different texture. Okay, this is where we're at the moment. It's looking lovely. I tell you what, I brought some pens with us and try and add some finer detail, because it's really hard with the paintbrushes I've brought. I haven't brought the correct equipment, surprise, surprise. That's definitely helping things. Like, look at that, with extra lines. Just a bit of fine line, it's added way more detail. And I want to add some more detail to these bush bits. So these are looking a bit plain. Tell you what I can hear in the background, which I haven't heard in a long time, I haven't noticed in a long time. A grasshopper. I used to catch and collect grasshoppers when I was younger. I also used to have a snail collection. Sad, sad. I'm sure we all did though when we were kids, didn't we? Like collect bugs and shells and bits of whatever. There'll be someone who didn't, and they'll be in the comments, no, I didn't. I was a normal child, I was into sport. Oh, what do we think of that? I think this is coming along quite nicely, actually. I think the longer you spend on something, the more time you spend on it and adding the layers and stuff, it really starts to build up. You might think you're not getting anywhere with it, but just as time goes on, it starts to get there. I feel like it anyway. I feel like I'm very inspired by my surroundings. It doesn't look exactly like what I'm looking at, but it's definitely inspired by it. Now, I do want to add some bits in the background, which I know it's going to ruin this a little bit and take away from the nature of it all, but there's some like power lines, which I feel like need to be in here. And there's also just a little building in the background. I need to add some more colour actually. These power lines at the front as well, I feel like the two in the front, so I'm just going to try and wash them out a little bit with some water, see if I can knock them back a bit. That didn't really work. Actually, that kind of looks alright. And then, if I just add, I kind of fancy a different blue up at the top. You know what, I'm quite happy with that. I think I'm done. So I'll show you what I've been looking at, and this is the painting inspired from it. I think I've done an alright job. I think I've captured it a little bit. It's just loosely based on what I was actually looking at. Considering I'm not the best with like watercolours and kind of... Oh my god, what's that? Sorry, got attacked by a bee or a bug or something like that. But considering I'm not really great at like nature painting or figurative painting or anything like that, or I don't do it very often, I think I've done an alright little job. There's some like little parts in there, little illustrative parts, some more detail and stuff. I'm really pleased with it.
Makes a change.
Right, that's me all packed up. Got all my stuff here and heading home. I've had a pretty decent day actually. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Hopefully you have too. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Yeah, and let me know whether you want to see more content like this. I don't mind. It's a bit of a chew on recording it and stuff like that, especially when I forget to bring like really vital equipment with us because I'm an idiot. But if you do want to see more stuff like this, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next week for a brand new video. Now I've just got the long walk back, which surprisingly just takes me longer than I thought. Don't know, maybe I'm just a slower person these days. I'm not as fast of a walker as I used to be. I did dump my water out though, so you know, nature could have like a little bit of a drink, because we've had no water for ages either. I complain usually about the rain and how rainy it is in the UK. Honestly, we could do with some. If it fancies raining, I wouldn't mind. You know what I've realised with me in the weather? I'm never happy, am I? It's either too rainy, too cold, or too hot. I'm clearly very hard to please.